So I got these packs of cards off of the Wizards cupboard, and I bought them purely for nostalgia value. The Onslaught block was one of the blocks that I drafted the most when I was a kid, and I had a lot of fun because there was a lot of new mechanics they introduced in this block. Started with Onslaught, then Legions, then Scourge, and Onslaught brought about the morph mechanic, which is where you could play a morph card for 3 colorless upside down, and then pay its morph cost to flip it right side up. And that was usually accompanied with a ability for flipping it, or just make a big creature come into play late in the game. You could flip a morph that you paid practically nothing for at the start and have a big creature. And also they brought about the storm mechanic, which was where you play a spell and you copy it for all the other spells that were played that turn. Legions was the first set where every single card in this set is a creature, and Scourge had a lot of weird blue cards and a lot of dragon cards, thus with the dragon art. With Onslaught, there's not a whole lot of expensive cards, but there's a whole bunch of dual lands where you pay 1 life and you can search for certain land cards. Some of those are expensive. I think the Polluted Delta or Polluted something is one of the most expensive cards in this. There's also some good goblins in here. I think it's the Goblin Pile Driver or something. And there's also a lot of tribal cards like elves and soldiers and goblins, and they started having more wizards and illusions. I really don't care what I get from these, but I wouldn't mind getting one of the Kamals, the green Kamals, or the Ixidor. They're not worth anything, but I don't have one. And actually, most of these sets, all of the expensive cards are foil. So if I'm going to make any money, it's going to be off of foil cards. Legions, there's practically nothing that's expensive in that set, but there's a lot of good creatures. Mostly the foils are going to be the expensive ones. And there's also the Phage the Untouchable that I'd like, that I've never gotten one. With Scourge, there's not a lot of expensive cards either. Most of the foil cards are where the money's at. There's Stifle, where it's a counter to activated abilities. I doubt I'll get that one. That's pretty rare, but I think it's worth like $10. Not a big money card either. But we'll go ahead and open it. See, starting out with a Battering Craghorn. It's just one of those morph cards. Not very good, but still first strike. That's good. I would have drafted that. We got the Sage Aven, and it comes into play. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Kind of like Scry now. Good card for a draft. We got Wirewood Savage. Whenever a beast comes into play, you may draw a card. It's an elf. Not that great. Then we got Shepherd of Rot. Oh, I forgot to mention there's lots of zombies, and zombies is a really played legacy tribal format. Each player loses 1 life for each zombie in play. That's awesome. I would put that in a zombie deck. Piety Charm. This is kind of lots of sets have these colored charms, or each color they do something based on the color. Destroy target enchanted creature. Target soldier gets +2/+2. Not bad if you have a soldier deck, I guess. Goblin Sky Raider. Another goblin. Crown of Ascension. Creature has flying. Sacrifice the crown to have another creature that shares its type gain flying. Not very good. Tranquil Thicket, one of the cycle cards. I forgot to mention also there's cycling in this block. That's good. These are good cards for draft and good cards for legacy because late in the game you may top deck a land and you can just cycle this and you pay 1 forest to discard it and you get to draw another card. So late in the game, if you top deck this card, you can maybe have a second chance. Then Screeching Buzzard, flying black creature. It's not a very good card. Another one of these cycle lands. Can't get enough of these. Now we're on to the uncommons. Uncommon Black Cleric. I also forgot there's also clerics. As a tribal, the black-white clerics were the deck of the day. Sacrifice cleric, target player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. That's good. Improvised armor, enchanted creature gets +2/+5, cycling. So also good for draft or legacy. I don't think you'd ever play this in legacy. It's so expensive and it's an enchant. People are using the equipment now. Then we got Astral Slide. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may remove target creature from the game. This is really like a block card. Like you would never play this outside of block. And no one plays Onslaught block anymore, so kind of a junk uncommon. Here's my rare, Psychic Trance. Till end of turn, wizards you control gain counter target spell. You know what? This is probably like a 50-cent rare, but I think it's cool. If I ever made like a wizard deck, I'd put it in it. That's a big if. And I actually got a shiny. Mistform Dreamer. Flying Illusion. Probably not worth that much, but still, it's cool. I got a shiny. Not a very bad pack. I like the cycle lands. The cycle lands, and obviously the shiny. And I got a elf, zombies, clerics, goblin, wizard, beast. I think we got one of each of the tribal cards, or big tribal cards in this set. Not too bad. Kind of crappy rare, but I got a shiny to make up for it. Let's go with Legions next. Ooh, it's cut. Oh, this pack's not going to be pretty, so. Okay, starting with Nantuko Vigilante, another morph card. When he's turned up, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Awesome card for now. Probably never see it outside of block, but I would assume it'd be a good sideboard card to destroy artifacts or enchantments. We got Macetail Hysterodon. It's a beast, first strike, haste, which is always good. It's insanely expensive though. I would imagine it'd be good to cycle this early, and unless you top decked it late in the game. That would be scary late in the game though, just throwing that down and attacking. This is an awesome, awesome common. It's Deathblade Elite. It's got Provoke. I don't think Provoke was introduced before this block either. It basically forces somebody to block it. And this one, you can attack with it and then force somebody to block it and then prevent all combat damage so it lives. So you can destroy like a huge creature like a 4/1 and then he lives. Awesome first turn play. Great for soldier deck. If I made a soldier deck, this would be in it. Here's a zombie, Embalmed Brawler. It's got Amplify. When it comes into play, you put a 1/1 counter on it for each zombie card you reveal in your hand. Also for a zombie deck, whenever attacks or blocks, you lose 1 life for each 1/1 counter on it. That might be not a great card for any deck. It's the negative outweighs the pro.